You Capricorn are double lucky in relationships this August, which is great and all, but the planets will also be expecting some hustle from you and a clear emotional understanding of how money translates into power. I am Nadia, the astrologer for people who do not necessarily believe in astrology, but who love hearing their monthly forecasts. And this is the August forecast for the sign of Capricorn. And now to this luck in relationships part. So what it comes down to is that Venus, the planet of love and pleasure and beauty, moved into the sign of Cancer on the 31st of July, and it will remain here until the 25th of August. Cancer in your horoscope rules this area of important partnerships, important one-on-one relationships, which includes romantic relationships, but is not limited to it, and is also about friendships, creative collaborations, business partnerships, but also feuds, so relationships you have with formidable opponents, as we call it in astrology speak. Venus here will make you more motivated to invest in pleasant relationships and will make you more attracted to the people in your life who have at least some degree of attractiveness for you. And the cool thing is that Venus is not the only planet that is activating this area of partnerships in your chart. It's also Jupiter. Jupiter entered Cancer in June 2025, and it will stay there until summer 2026, so like a year. Jupiter, this planet of luck and abundance and optimism, will be influencing your relationships, which you could say that you are lucky with people right now. You are lucky in relationships, you are lucky with who you meet. You are also helped with improving the relationships that have the potential. If you have a relationship that has some potential, but you're not completely happy with it, then this month, when Venus and Jupiter will be working together, is perfect for bringing up the question of how you want the relationship to improve. In general, wherever Jupiter is, we tend to get more hopeful, which is very positive, but it automatically means that we are not as happy with how things are. So be very attentive to this feeling of, I like this person, I love this person, or it's a wonderful person, but I wish things were better. And approach the subject with enough goodwill and compliments. Venus is very good at providing compliments and hopefulness. This is also this combination of Venus and Jupiter in your area of partnerships and important relationships, the best combination to finally meet your partner if you are looking for someone. So if you are looking to start dating someone, then do not settle down. Be very optimistic in what you want, in setting your standards, and then put yourself out there and try to be active and positive about it in the first half of August. You will also have to be quite active in whatever it is that you do in your most official role. Why? Because Mars, the planet of action and drive and also ambition and fighting spirit, will enter Libra on the 7th of August. In your horoscope, Libra rules this area of career, reputation, business, social status. And wherever Mars goes, there must be some action, there must be some hustle. So I would say that days after the 7th are not perfect for a holiday, or maybe, yes, do take a holiday if you must, but maybe not a sabbatical, right? So at some point you will have to be active, you will have to be ambitious, you will have to be a fighter, but do not forget that this is a Mars in Libra. Libra is a very civilized sign. It's a strong sign. It's always a mistake to mistake it for a weak sign, but it is civilized. It doesn't like to be obviously angry. So ideally you would want to win in your official role or in your relationships with the official institutions and officials, like in general. But you want to do it in a civilized manner, like a civilized person. Then Mars in Libra will be very helpful. The full moon will happen in the sign of Aquarius on the 9th of August. In your horoscope, Aquarius rules the area of personal finance. It is how we earn, how we spend, what we own, and how we manage our property, something that belongs only to us. Full moons illuminate, show us something, direct our attention to how things are doing in a certain area in our lives. And this full moon is perfect to, make an audit of your finances. Which money you have, where, on which bank accounts, what do you owe to people, which purchases you're planning to make, what do you own, like what is your net worth. It would be enough to just collect this information and sit on it and maybe digest it emotionally. And then on the 11th, some good news will reach us, and it is that Mercury retrograde will be over. Mercury will station direct in the sign of Leo, and after it does, things that the sign of Leo rules over in your horoscope would start running smoother. In your horoscope, Leo rules the area of shared resources and other people's money. I call it the area of funding because in my client's life, it usually is funding. So like some resources, some money, which allow us to do something greater than something that we would have been able to do using just our own resources. I wouldn't say that this is the area that is extremely lucky this year for you. Things will start working better after Mercury direct, but it's not something mind-blowing or life-altering. You will get lucky in this area of life 1 year after this. So when Jupiter moves into Leo in the summer of 2026, it will stay there until the summer of 2027. And this is where you may get funding that would be significant, let's say, or for something that is very important to you. For now, it's just small things like, I don't know, tax return or returning the debt or getting a stipend. Something that, you need to do, but it's not life-changing. Leo, however, also rules two other areas of your life that are more personal and psychological than finances. It is your own psychological depths, and intimacy, intimate relationships. And these are two areas where also things would start running smoother. So if you're doing psychotherapy, that would, give you something to think about. If you are working on your intimate relationship, then yes, also some movement forward will be possible. The main feature of the astrology of August is the wonderful, rare combination of planets Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. All of these planets have changed signs recently in the past year. This is what's making it so rare. So each of these planets is bringing something new to the table already. And then they are also forming those supportive, helpful aspects to each other this August. This is creating this atmosphere of cooperation and experimentation, and one opportunity leading to another opportunity to another opportunity. It's great for growing and exchanging information and collaborating and trying things out. This August is the first time those planets will align in this harmonious combination. And then there will be 2 instances in 2026. So to make use of this energy, well, first thing you can do is just do all of that, exchange information, collaborate, communicate, try things out with other people. But it's also nice to pay special attention and to be more active in the areas which this configuration lights up for you in your horoscope. For you, this would be the area of personal finance. So a deep, long transformation of how you earn, of what you spend on what you own, and ideally it would lead in a few years to a significant increase in your net worth. Then it's the area of home and roots and family, where, all kinds of developments could happen, but ideally it would be something that is long term and a little bit idealistic and laborious, so demanding. And then it's the area of professional skills, but also routines. So what you do on a day-to-day basis on the job, and also in your day-to-day life, or maybe as how you take care of your health or of people who depend on you. Or it could also be people who work for you, so people whose professional skills you are using. So some combination of those three areas. It may sound like what I'm describing is very loose, but wait a little bit and think about it. Think about how those areas are presented in your life. Think about what connections exist between those areas of your life. And it's possible that by the end of the month, you will have a very good idea about which project or which event or which combination of events present this opportunity for synergy and synchronicity and great progress. And then you can already start working on it, or you can reflect on it and study it now and then act on it in 2026. There will also be a new moon in Virgo on the 23rd of August. It's a fresh new moon. It's very swift. It's very contemporary. So in your horoscope, Virgo rules activities that lead to expanding your horizons, travel, higher learning, philosophy, culture, science and education, media and publishing, such things. So it either expands your own horizons, or you do something that expands the horizons for other people. And so this new moon would be now the time to plan something new and to take on a new project, not necessarily a big project, maybe something small, in some of those areas. Bonus points for people who would think of a project that expands your horizons or expands somebody else's horizons, where you would need to make use of very new skills that you have just acquired. Something very future oriented. It could be AI, actually. I know that everyone does it, but it's still very new and it still can be very useful and it still can lead to interesting outcomes. And then after spending 26 days in Cancer in your area of important one-on-one relationships, Venus will move into the next sign of Leo, which will be also amazing for the romantic partnership in your life. Singular, one romantic relationship in your life. Why? Because if Cancer rules one-on-one relationships that are important, Leo rules, like I said already earlier, relationships where there's intimacy, where there's intimate trust and real closeness. And usually it is a marriage. So a relationship where you share a home, where you share your bed, where you share possibly children or family. If you have such a relationship, then Venus moving into Leo will make this relationship even more loving and pleasurable and also erotic, probably. But Leo, again, like I said before in the section about Mercury stationing direct, also rules funding and your own psychological depths. So what could Venus mean there? It could mean starting psychotherapy with a woman therapist, because Venus represents women, but it can also mean being very nice to people and organizations whose resources you want to use. And again, in a year, Jupiter will move into this area of your horoscope, and this will make this area a really powerful push to develop optimistically. For now, slow, small steps are also very good and more than enough.